Welcome. Today we're going to be servicing the Husqvarna R316 mower. It's the R316 TX model. This model is fitted with the Kawasaki FS481V engine. In order to find parts, it's easier to search for the engine model, and you can find these parts online at multiple different retailers. Before carrying out the service, we need to make sure that the engine has been run for a short period. This is to make sure that the oil has warmed up enough to be able to flow freely when we release the oil cap. It's important not to run it for too long though, because otherwise the oil will become too hot and you may cause burns to yourself. So we're going to start the mower.
Rev up the Bugatti!
So we have an oil filter, the air filter, 2 spark plugs, and of course the fuel filter. First of all, you need to understand how to get to the engine. To do that, we move this seat forwards. We take the key that comes with it and we put it in this section here, which unconnects that clip, giving access to the engine area. So we're going to go ahead and change the oil now. Or first of all, we need to release the old oil from the engine. To do this, we need to make sure that the dipstick area is open to allow air to come through, otherwise it will not flow. We're going to use an adjustable spanner to undo the nut. So we're just turning the cap. We now release it, and as you can see, the oil is flowing. And now we just leave that for the oil to flow out. As you can see, we've now drained the oil from the vehicle, so we will now change the oil filter. In order to remove the oil filter, we need to first of all disconnect this little connector. That's only to give better access to the area. We then simply take hold of the oil filter and turn it anti-clockwise. It can be a little bit tough, so you may have to have a lot of strength. As we release the oil filter, it's wise to put something underneath it to catch any residual oil that may be in there. We're using this little jug to do so. Just simply turn it until it releases, and then we'll just remove it. Like so. Now that we've removed the oil filter, we'll now replace the cap to stop any more oil coming out and ready for when we refill it. I'll initially just finger tight onto there, like so. That'll be fine. Now we'll take the new oil filter and we're going to apply a small amount of oil to this seal. We've now applied oil to the seal around the filter, and we'll now go ahead and put the oil filter back onto the motor. So we simply line up the oil filter onto the spindle. Once aligned, we just simply turn it and do that up, creating a nice seal. So you just do it up quite tight because you don't want any leaks. And we'll now reattach this small clip back into position. We'll now put the oil back into the engine. We'll be using a 10W40 and we'll be putting in 1.5 litres initially, and then we'll have to top it up with a further 0.2 of a litre to take it to 1.7, because we need to make an allowance for the oil filter. Now we're going to change the air filter. To do this, we need to remove this cover, which is quite simple to do because all we need to do is turn this and this, and then this cover will come off. Like so. As you can see, our air filter is looking particularly dirty, hence the reason why we're going to change it. In order to take it off, we simply undo this clip, which will release the connection for this pipe. We can then remove the pipe from the filter and take the filter out, like so. So here we have our new air filter, and it's just the reverse of what we've just done. So all we'll do is we'll slide it onto the pipe, like so, putting it into position, and then we will tighten up the clip. So now that we've put the new air filter in, we just need to put this cover back into place. Again, it's just the reverse of what we've already done. So you just line it up, find the position on the clips, and then turn to lock them into position. We're now going to change the fuel filter. In order to do that, we will need to release this clip and slide the pipes off of either end. Before doing that, we apply some little clamps to the fuel line to try and stop fuel from leaking. As you can see, we've released the clip from this pipe, and now we've released the clip from this pipe, just sliding it onto the filter. Now we'll be able to pull the pipe away from the filter, ready to replace it. So now we're going to take our new filter, which is different to the original filter. However, it's an aftermarket fuel filter for this model. We'll now push the pipes onto each end and secure with the clips in the reverse of what we did to take it off. As you can see, we've now inserted the new fuel filter, reattached the pipes, and put the clips back into position. Next, we'll change the spark plugs. On this engine, there are only 2 spark plugs. One on this side that can be located under this cover, and one on the opposite side of the engine, which can be located here under this cover. These are our new spark plugs, and we'll be using a 21mm spark plug spanner to remove the old ones and insert the new ones. Now we've loosened the spark plug, we can simply unturn it with our fingers to remove it from the vehicle. So we'll now insert our new spark plug into the hole, and we'll simply wind it into the hole and then do it up with the spanner. We've now fitted the spark plug, so we simply reattach the cable. Here on the screen you can see the service indicator light. This is why we know that the mower needs to be serviced. Once completing the service, we can remove the service indicator light through a set routine, which we will now show you. To reset the service indicator, we need to first of all put the mower deck down. We then take the handbrake or the foot brake off. We put the mower in the start position, or the ignition into the start position, and then we pump the brake 10 times. Like so. As you can see, the service indicator has now gone off. So that completes our servicing for today. We'll now start the engine. That may take a little bit of time because we need to allow for the fuel to enter the fuel filter. So bear with me whilst we start the vehicle.